Hi, in this video, we're going to go over the Check Your Understanding from 2.1, Describing Positions in Data. This says, Mrs. Munson is concerned about how her daughter's height and weight compare with those of other girls of the same age. She uses an online calculator to determine that her daughter is at the 87th percentile for weight and the 67th percentile for height. Explain to Mrs. Munson what these values mean. So you need to understand what a percentile is, and that it's the percent of data values that are less than or equal to specifically her height and weight for girls the same age. That's our data set this time. So you could say something like 87% of girls of the same age, so give context, have a weight that's less than or equal to her daughter's weight. 67% of the girls of the same age have a height that is less than or equal to her daughter's weight. So just make sure you give context, like 80% of what, girls the same age, and that you say less than or equal to. Let's look at the next problem. The graph displays the cumulative relative frequency of the length of phone calls made from the mathematics department office at Gabolat High last month. Who knows where that is? So the first question, okay, so we have call length, so 0 to 45. Looks like 100% of calls are less than 45 minutes. And then on the left, our cumulative relative frequency. About what percent of calls lasted less than or equal to 30 minutes? So you want to find 30 on the call length. That's this blue line here, and go up to our graph. And then map it to the left. And that will tell you what percent of calls were less than or equal to 30 minutes, or at what percentile is 30 minutes. And that looks like a little less than 70, somewhere between 60 and 70. So I said about 65% are less than or equal to 30 minutes, which is going to leave about 35% are more than 30 minutes. Okay, last one, estimate quartile 1, quartile 3, and the IQR of the distribution of phone call length. So quartile 1, 25% of data is less than quartile 1. So you want to find 25%. It's the 25th percentile, quartile 1. So that's about here. So then you can estimate it. That looks, like maybe 13 and a half minutes, 13 minutes. So quartile 1's about 13 minutes. Don't say it is exactly, we're estimating. Quartile 3 is about 32. Let's look at that. So you want to find 75. That's this red one here. And then that's somewhere between 30 and 35 for quartile 3. The median would be at 50. And then you can find the interquartile range by doing quartile 3 minus quartile 1, which is about 19 minutes. So just make sure you can read this cumulative relative frequency graph, and you always provide context in your answers.